Okay, so hey there, hi guys. No, I do get asked this a lot about stains on my teeth or yellow teeth, or there's another common one. If you haven't already watched the other videos that I have, I did talk about what causes stains in general, and I did mention, just a brief summary, there are essentially two general causes, which are external stains or just extrinsic stains, and I touched on that in the last video, but it's also something called intrinsic stains or internal stains. Now, I did say that they're both chalk and cheese. They're two different ways of approaching things. And generally with intrinsic stains, they're generally a little bit harder to address compared to an extrinsic stain. Now, but that being said, it's not impossible. So I guess, again, I guess the question is, how do we fix that white patch you have on your tooth, or that yellow disgusting patch? No matter how hard I brush, no matter how much tooth whitening or toothpaste whitening I go for it, it just doesn't go at it. It just doesn't go off. So I guess to start off with is what actually are intrinsic stains? Now, intrinsic stains is, the dental term or the medical term we use here is what we call hypomineralization. Now, essentially means that the tooth didn't develop properly, and it's got certain properties in there that reflect the light differently, and then and sometimes it absorbs stains as well, a little bit more, and most times it's developed during throughout your life, and of course from birth onwards. Now, scientists haven't quite actually managed to put their finger on what actually causes it, but they did hypothesize that it could be because when you're younger, you felt really sick at one stage, and it affected the development of the teeth, or maybe sometimes you fell down on your bike or face planted or something and bumped your two front teeth, and that could also, trauma can also affect the development of some teeth there. And there's also links to the medications that while you're in while your mom's pregnant, while she has you, she might be taking some antibiotics or some medications that could affect the development of your teeth. But I guess the most important thing is how do we fix it, right? Look, generally there are a few ways of fixing these sort of internal stains or intrinsic stains, and there are certain processes we should go through before we go to the more extreme end. Where we start off at the middle end and then work it out from there if it doesn't work. And not all of these options work 100% of the time. Some might work, some might not work, and all options have its own pros and cons there. I'll attempt to try to summarize everything in this short, quick little video, so that you get an idea of what are the options out there at the moment. Now, the first option is whitening. So you can actually, do professional in-chair whitening alongside with some take-home whitening to try to remove some of the yellow stains, or try to make the whiter stains more diffuse, or sort of blends in a little bit more with the surrounding teeth. Now, this option doesn't work all the time. If anything, I would say maybe up to 60 to 70% of the time. I guess the good thing about it is you get your teeth white anyways, and it doesn't damage your teeth because it doesn't take away any tooth structure. It's just literally whitening it inside out. But I guess the downside is that, again, it doesn't work all the time. So if that doesn't work, then you will move on to the next step, which is what we call microabrasion. So what a microabrasion is, just like its name, you take off a little bit of tooth structure, and then you hoping that by removing a bit of tooth structure, using sometimes the burrs or sometimes the gels, and there's even a new technique called icon infiltration. You can infiltrate the tooth there to try to remove or try to diffuse out the white patches or the yellow patches there. Now, again, this is not a foolproof technique. I suppose the good thing about it is that it works. I mean, it's cheaper generally. But the downside is it doesn't work all the time. Maybe success rate is, if I'm going to put a number down, maybe 80-85% there. So there is still a chance that it may not work at all. But at the very least, I've seen results and studies have shown that it has reduced it. It will reduce it a little bit, maybe not 100%. Now there is another cause called there is another way of fixing called macro abrasion. Now what macro abrasion is removing a lot more tooth structure and then trying to patch it up again, or try to cover up that spot there that you've removed off with natural with tooth color material. And this could involve a bit of drilling, and then we later on put a filling over the top. We'll try to mask that will put the same color, the same optical properties on the tooth, so it appears a little bit more natural and you don't see as much of the white patch or yellow patch at all. But I guess the good thing about this is that it's generally cheaper again, but I suppose the downside is you're removing a bit of tooth. On top of that as well, while removing teeth, there's that yes, we are patching it up with something else. We won't just leave it with a hole in there. So there shouldn't be any sensitivity afterwards, but I guess the downside is, again, it's not 100%. Although the success rate is a lot higher depending on how much tooth structure is removed. You can get up to about 90-95% success rate there. Now, I guess the last alternative, the final straw is by doing veneers. Veneers come in many forms. It can come in direct veneers or indirect veneers, and but generally they do work around the same principles in mind. So veneers are kind of like, I like to say, it's like fake fingernails. You've got fake fingernails. You put something on, you hide whatever's underneath there. I guess the downside of that is the cost. It is a lot dearer than the other options, the other three options. And I guess the other downside is you do tend to remove a bit more tooth structure. But I guess the good thing is that it will mask almost 100%. Well, nothing's 100%. I like to say that, but maybe 99.99% of the time it will mask anything, any discolored things underneath there. No matter how yellow, no matter how white it is, or how patchy it is, it will mask anything underneath with the veneer. And which is why I normally say we don't normally go down the veneer path unless we've tried all the other three less invasive procedures first. But again, at the end of the day, it's the patient's call, and as long as you're aware of the risk, we are happy to proceed with what you want us to do. So I guess that summarizes what are the general ways of addressing intrinsic stains. And if you like to find out more from Tooth Heaven, give us a call and we'll be more than happy to have a chat with you, figure out what's causing it, figure out how extensive it is, and then figure out a plan on how we can address this. Well, until next time, take care and bye now. Hey there! If what we just spoke about speaks to you or someone you might know of and you'd like to find out more, we're more than happy to have a chat with you just by clicking on the links below. You can also contact us directly on our phone number on the number listed on this side. And if you don't already know about this, we do accept online appointments as well, and you can book yourself online from our own website. Now, this video is just part of what we believe in Tooth Heaven, which is changing lives one tooth at a time. Until the next time we see you, thank you for watching and take care. Bye now.